Hello, my name is Parker, and welcome to my channel if you're new here. If you haven't checked out any of my previous episodes, I do suggest you go watch the rest of this series thus far, as this is day 4 of Echoes of the Past October. A month-long prompt event hosted by Typically Untypical. If you haven't gotten the chance to go check them out, please go do so now, as they are a phenomenal writer. Today's prompt is imagination, of course, can open any door, turn the key, and let terror walk right in. Truman Capote. I really did not pronounce that right. In cold blood. Today's story is called When Creativity is Pushed Too Far, and it does have a few minor trigger warnings, so please go check that description out. And without any further ado, this is When Creativity is Pushed Too Far by none other than me. Roman and Remus never hated each other. In fact, they considered themselves a team, fighting hard to be a major asset to Thomas, even at a really young age. Sure, they were supposed to be one person instead of two, but what's done was done, and they couldn't change that, even if they wanted to. Besides, they liked being themselves, there for each other on the good and the bad days, working together, pitching ideas, and generally being the best form of creativity they could. At least up until they were overworked. It was around high school that Thomas began to push aside Remus, forcing Roman to pick up the slack. Roman had boasted about being chosen as Thomas's creativity, even if he was now forced to do all the work. Roman was good at his job, and created nearly endlessly. However, it was exhausting, and he wanted nothing more than to have his brother taking care of half of it like he did years before. He knew times had changed, and things were different now, though. He wasn't even sure if his brother would agree to take his rightful place back after all this long time. Roman was too prideful to ask anyway. He knew Thomas wouldn't accept it. So he bit his lip and kept at it, idea after idea, day after day. Remus missed working with his brother as his equal. Sometimes he would edit some of the work during his very rare breaks, though they were usually changed back when he got back. He often found this to be at least vaguely disappointing. He wanted a reaction, or literally anything. At first there were reactions, but later on he found they became less and less common and strong. He would often take longer and longer to take a break, let alone a long or a proper one. He would never willingly admit that he wanted his creativity back. Life was ruthlessly boring for Remus. He didn't understand why he couldn't just do his job. He wasn't good enough for Thomas. That's why he lost his position as an equal part of creativity. As usual, Remus lurked behind Roman, watching him work, waiting for him to take a break. He'd been working for around 3 or more hours, and the longer Remus watched, he was nearly certain that he hadn't seen him blink in over 20 minutes. Roman stared at the mostly blank document that he had been working on for the past 3 or 4 hours. Honestly, he wasn't sure how long it had been, but he should probably take a break, or at least long enough to go to the bathroom. He was tired, and he knew he should probably sleep, but he was so busy, and he had to work hard. Ever since Thomas had decided to work in the arts, he was even more busy. Remus looked at him with amusement. He could tell he was super tired, and he wanted to sleep. He knew Roman would cave soon. He looked away only for a moment, because he heard a noise outside the door. But when he looked back, he saw Roman had placed his head on the desk. Roman decided he just wanted a quick nap, and then he would get right back to work. This wasn't an ordinary until Roman's chair began to slide back, and Remus was forced to watch in horror as his brother slid out of the chair and desk, slamming his head against the floor as he did. He didn't get back up, even after a few minutes of laying there. Remus knew a lot about his brother, and he was a lot of things, but an idiot wasn't one of them. He slowly climbed down and lifted his brother off the floor, checking him for physical damage. Nothing was physically wrong with him. He should be completely able to get up and make his way to the bed. Remus set him on the bed and left to get Logan to make sure he really was okay. What he neglected to notice was that he was fading quickly. I do hope you guys have enjoyed today, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful day!